Y also acts as a vowel when it's part of a vowel team or a vowel digraph. So like sometimes, I think last time, didn't we have AY? Yeah, I think we did. AY says A at the end, like in play or in stay. Today we're going to learn that EY says E at the end of words like turkey, money, and monkey, or valley. Look at those last three words, money, monkey, and valley. Since Y says E at the end of longer words like candy, city, pretty, how are you supposed to know if you should put a Y or an EY when you're spelling? There's a little bit of a hint. It's not an all the time rule, but it's a good pattern for you to know. You're going to use the EY after an LL, an N, or a K. And if you were here in E month, then this is going to be a refresher, right? You'll have recognized this from learning that in E month. So EY will come at the end of words after an LL, like in valley, an N, like money, or a K, like monkey. Okay, so today our words, when we're spelling, not necessarily when we're reading in reading class, but when we're spelling today, we're going to be spelling words where the last sound is an E and it's coming right after an LL, an N, or a K. LL, N, or K. All right, I also have something else that I want to teach you, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay. So first is our word that I want us to practice together is crilly. Crilly. When you hear k, spell it with a C most of the time until I teach you different. So we have k, r, I, l, e, dotting the vowels. Consonants first. K, spell with a C. R, I, l, e. Those are our consonant sounds. Vowel sounds. I. We always start with an I. Can I say I here? It cannot, because there is a vowel in the next one or two spots. When that happens, when a vowel has another vowel in the next one or two spots, it forces it to say its name. I don't want it to say I want it to say I. I is a short vowel. Short vowels require two consonants. If there's not two, make two. Now we have this double L here. So we are going to use our EY, spelling of the E sound at the end of words. Let me just put EY comes after one of those. Okay? Your word is strilly. 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 Go ahead and try that one on your own. And then put it in the chat. And so when I say chat, I mean the Q&A. So Emek, that might help you. Yeah, when I say chat, it's just a faster way to say put your answer in the Q&A. And you should be able to send as many messages in this Q&A as you want. Yeah, if that's not the case, if you are stopped at only sending 2, then send me an email, because that shouldn't be the case. I should be able to see your answers in the Q&A, as many as you want. So we are doing, what is the word? Strilly. Strilly. Yeah. Good job. Very good. So consonants, we have that 3-letter consonant blend right here. St, I, oops. O, E. For the I sound, can I say I in this spot? No. It must say I, because there's a vowel in the next 1 or 2 spots here. I don't want it to say I want it to say I. I is a short vowel. Short vowels require 2 consonants. If there's not 2, make 2. Now, we have 2 L's, and EY comes after a double L. You feel like you're getting it? All right, number 2, we have bliney together. Bliney. B, O I N E. Consonants. B O I N E. Vowels. I. I want that to say I there. Can it? Yeah, it already can because there's a vowel 1 or 2 doors away, so it's perfect. We don't have to do anything else. E after an N is spelled with an E-Y. Here we go. Even in short words like key, if it's an L, an LL, an N, or a K, we're going to use an EY after it. Okay, your word is driny. Driny. D-R-I-N-E. Driny. And then put that in the chat for me, in the Q&A. Driny. Driny. And that middle sound, n, my lips are open. Driny. Driny. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. My lips are open in the middle, so my lips aren't closed for that M. They're open for an N. Driny. D-R-I-N-E. I. Can an I say I here? Yes, it can because of the tab 2 rule. E sound after an N spelled E-Y. Driny. Yeah? Okay, next. Emily. Not the name. I'm not looking for that. It's going to be a lot longer than that word. Emily. Not I. Emily. So we have E. Okay, Emily. Consonants. E. Vowels. I want this E to say Can it say there? No. There's a vowel 1 or 2 doors down, which would force it to say its name. I don't want it to say E. I want which is a short vowel, which requires 2 consonants after it. If there's not 2, make 2. I want this E to say Can it here? No. For the same reason, there's a vowel 1 or 2 doors away. That would make it long. I want it to be short, which requires 2 consonants after it. If there's not 2, make 2. Now we have a double L here, and we have the E sound after a double L, which is spelled EY. Okay, your word is, you might be wondering, why isn't Emily spelled that way? Because it's just been in the names get to be spelled however the parent wants. And this one just got in the habit of being spelled that way. So that's names are a world on their own. I have a parent, a former student of mine, who when she had a baby, she asked me to come over to help her figure out how to spell her baby's name because it was a name that they hadn't heard of before, and they wanted to make sure that it followed typical phonetic patterns. And then her daughter recently had a baby, and then they called me from the hospital. So a generation later, they're asking me how to spell this name that they had in their mind so that it would follow typical phonetic patterns and not send the tradition down of something like this, where it should technically have 2 M's in there, shouldn't it? Okay, so just a fun story. Your word is F-L-E. 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 That second sound is a F, like fan or flower. F-L-E. And then put it in the Q&A. F-L-E. F-L-E. Mac, I hope that you're able to put another to keep chatting with me in the Q&A. F-L-E. Good. F-L-E. F-L-E. And it's an eh. I'm saying an eh in this word. So we have eh, consonants, f, o, e. Can an e say here? No, because there's a vowel 1 or 2 doors away. That would make it say E. I want it to say which requires 2 consonants after it. If there's not 2, make 2. Now it can say Now it's nice and happy. Same thing. It can't say yet until there are 2 consonants after it. So we must make 2 L's. And then E sound after a double L is spelled EY. Like valley. Think of some more examples for you. Okay, let's try another one. Let's kick it up just a little bit of a notch here. I want our word to be sly fenny. Sly fenny. S-L-I-F-E. Sly fenny. Consonants. S-L-I-F-E. Can an I say I here? Yes, it's golden because there's a vowel 1 or 2 doors away. Can an E say here? Not until there are 2 N's. Now it can. It looks like an M. Let me fix that. And then for an E sound after an N, regardless of if it's 1 or 2 N's, is an EY. Sly fenny. Yeah, did you get that? You ready to try yours? Your word is try penny. Try penny. T-R-I-P-E. Try penny. Take your time. Try penny. That was fast. How are you guys so fast? My goodness, they're already starting to come in. Try penny. You guys have got this, don't you? This might be the hardest word that I have for today, so if you're getting this one pretty easily, then you have got this down. Try. And I'm trying not to say that sloppily. I don't want it to sound like chur. I want it to sound like ter. Try penny. Okay, so our consonants are T-R-I-P-N-E. For the I sound, can I say I there? Yes, because of the tab 2 rule. He's golden. Can the E say in this spot? Not yet. Not until there is another N there. Now he's nice and happy saying his short sound. E after an N, the E sound after an N is EY. A lot of the time. Chai penny. Okay, one more hard one. You got it. One more hard one. Let's try this one. Only you, not me. Stepenki. Stepenki. Mouth open. K-E. Oh, in order for you to know this, and you need to know this for your extra practice, this K sound cannot be spelled with a C. It must be spelled with a K. K is how you spell the K sound before an E, I, or Y. And just a hint, it's going to be an EY at the end, right? You probably already knew that. So you can't spell the K sound with a C right here, because that would say C. And we're going to have a whole lesson on that, don't worry. But for just now, a sneak peek, if you're spelling the K sound before an EY, it has to be spelled with a K. Stepenki. Stepenki. You guys, how did you already know that? You guys wrote those answers before I even told you that. Well done. And that was a super fast explanation too. I usually spend 5 or 10 minutes teaching that, but I just spent 5 or 10 seconds and you guys have got it already. Stepenki. So do I need to double this N? Think about that. Do I need to double the N or not? Think about that question. Stepenki. E, P, N, key. All right, let's do it. Consonants. S, T, E, P, E, N, K before an E is spelled with a K. K before an E is spelled with a K. So for the E, can E say E there? Right here it can, yeah, because there's another vowel 1 or 2 spots away. So he's golden. Can this E say in this spot? This is the biggest question of the word. Well, there's not a double N, but it doesn't matter because there is already another consonant. All a short vowel needs is 2 consonants after it. There's already 2 consonants after it, so I don't have to double the N. Up here, there was only 1, so I had to double it. Up here, there was only 1, so I had to double it. Up here, there was only 1, so I had to double it. Down here, there's 2, so I don't have to double it. And then we have that EY spelling after the K. Well done. Stepenki. I was almost right. Oh man, so close, so close. All right, so today I have a feeling that you know this well enough, even though it might not be perfect, even though your knowledge might not be perfect, I have a feeling that you know it well enough to teach it. I bet you can go and tell somebody now that if you hear an E sound after an LL, an N, or a K, you're going to use an EY. LL, N, K. LL, N, K. LL, N, K. Require an EY. Congratulations on your new knowledge for your spelling tools treasure chest. You're amazing. Have a wonderful weekend. See you Monday. Bye, everybody.